Welcome to this week's New York City Crime Stats Breakdown. Today, we're looking closely at the latest numbers from the official NYPD CompuStat ledger, comparing where the five boroughs stand right now against the same period last year in 2025. And across the board, total major index crime in New York City is down roughly 6% year to year. That represents thousands of fewer felony complaints across the city over the first 8 months of the year. 5 out of the 7 major felony categories have recorded consistent reductions. But this week's ledger is particularly interesting because 7 categories are defying long-standing seasonal trends, while specific street-level enforcement operations are directly impacting what we see on a weekly basis. Let's start with violent crime and the single biggest anomaly of the summer, gun violence. Historically in New York City, late July and August represent the peak seasonal surge for shootings and homicides. The warm weather tends to bring more people outdoors, and summer weeks have traditionally seen annual highs. This August, however, the numbers tell a different story. According to NYPD city crime statistics, murders are down over 20% compared to 2025. They dropped from over 180 at this point last year to under 150 this year. Shooting incidents have also fallen nearly 18%, and shooting victims are down by more than 15%. So rather than experiencing a midsummer spike, gun violence has continued to cool across the city. And this reduction is heavily tied to the NYPD's high-density summer violence reduction deployment. This program has saturated key corridors in Brooklyn and the Bronx during peak evening hours. They're aimed at suppressing altercations before they even escalate. Turning to property crime, the year-over-year comparison shows steady improvement across every major bracket. Burglaries have dropped by more than 16% compared to 2025, and this continues a steady multi-month decline across all 5 boroughs. Robberies, they're down nearly 12% year-to-date compared to last year. GLA, grand larceny auto, this presents one of the most notable turnarounds in the weekly data. For the past 2 years, car thefts was the fastest growing crime in the city. But over the last month and into this week, auto thefts plunged by nearly 20% year over year. This shift follows coordinated joint operations by the NYPD and regional task force. They're utilizing expanded license plate readers to target organized theft rings and dismantle illegal chop shop operations. While overall robberies are down, the nature of street robbery has shifted, prompting major police operations over the past week. District attorney offices and borough commands in Queens and Upper Manhattan announced targeted crackdowns on motorized scooter and moped robbery crews. These operations follow a distinct pattern of quick escape chain snatches and phone thefts targeting pedestrians near major transit hubs like Astoria and South Jamaica. While high visibility patrols have pushed traditional muggings down, these motorized opportunistic thefts have required detectives to shift from stationary street presence to mobile interception units. The recent arrest of several major precinct robbery crews are expected to further pull down street theft figures in the coming weekly reports. Looking across the boroughs compared to 2025, the Bronx continues to lead the city with the strongest overall decrease, with major crime index down nearly 11% compared to last year. Manhattan and Brooklyn have posted steady 6 to 8% decreases. On the neighborhood level, Flatbush's 70th precinct has recorded one of the largest declines in the city, with major crime down over 25%. While local property theft and Bushwick's 83rd precinct have kept local numbers elevated. Underground, transit crime on subways and buses have held virtually flat compared to 2025, with roughly 1,085 reported major incidents year to date. While grand larcenies on trains have dropped 7%, minor physical disputes and platform altercations have seen slightly upticks, keeping station safety at the center of MTA and NYPD coordination. The bottom line this week, compared to 2025, New York City is experiencing a remarkable calm summer for gun violence and a silent retreat in major property crimes like burglaries and auto thefts. The critical challenges that remain are domestic disputes inside homes and the troubling rise in bias-motivated incidents. That's your weekly deep dive into the numbers. And let me know in the comments if you'd like us to focus on specific precincts or neighborhoods next week. Remember, my outliers, stay safe, watch out for your neighbors, and we'll catch you guys next week.